Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com. Welcome in to yet another wonderful Chief Talk. Welcome into Mr. Charles Adamson, Banker John, Mac Burks, and Jay Bates, Bob Ellis, Banker John again, Sean Crawley, Caleb Betts. Welcome in. We got 17 people currently watching. Michael Zakovac, thank you for hitting the like button over on Facebook. And for all those who have liked over on YouTube, we do appreciate it because we've got 13 people on YouTube currently, 3 people on the Bob Cigar Guy Facebook page. We do greatly appreciate all of the love. The shares are phenomenal as well. They always do great. Michael Zakovac says, good evening, guys. Good evening. Christy Whitmore, how are you doing this evening? Tonight is the first installment, the first quarter bracket, the first 25%, the first regional is what I'm calling it. The Drew Estate Regional of the Chief Talk Cigar Madness Bracket Challenge. We've got Drew Estate, Villiger, Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, and J.C. Newman Cigar Co. that are all going against each other. We're going to be, if you weren't here last week when we talked about this, we are going to be doing 4 weeks in a row of bracketed challenges. Tonight, like I said, we have the Drew Estate bracket. Let me go over here and pull it up for you guys. Go ahead and get this going. As you can see, and we already have these seeded. Now, the seed numbers did not get posted next to each of the brackets, unfortunately. But the number 1 seed is the Liga Privada number 9, going against the number 16 seed, La Vieja Habana. Then we have, there's the T52. The T52 is a 2 seed, going up the KFC Swamp Thing. But now we'll just get back into the midi-grade. We got the H99 going against the Kentucky Fire Cured, the Farrell going against the Acid Plush, the Undercrown Maduro, and the Undercrown Shade got matched up in the seed rankings, the seed makings. The L40 against the Herrera Esteli Brazilian, the Pappy Van Winkle in the Acid Cuba Cuba, and the Undercrown 10 in the Norteño. So that is our bracket this evening. We're not gonna jump into the bracket quite yet. We want to make sure that we say hello to all the wonderful, beautiful people out there. Thank Charles Adamson and Mac Berkson for also hitting the like button. And then I want to know, before we get into Bob the Cigar Guy talking about whatever he wants to talk about, I want to know, what are you smoking? What are you drinking? I decided, well, obviously we're doing the Facebook, the Drew Estate bracket. So I've got to smoke Drew Estate cigar, at least one during this show. So I went ahead and got one that I think will last me the whole show. But in case it doesn't, I do have two. And we just hit 20 people on the stream. Congratulations. 8 weeks in a row. Asim, thank you for hitting the like button over on Facebook as well. I am going with the Feral, the Drew Estate Feral. This is the Liga Privada Feral. And it is in the bracket. I felt that was, because it was in the bracket, I should go with it, especially. But it's also a cigar that's going to last me, I believe, the whole show.
Feral smokes for a long time.
Bob the Cigar Guy, what are you smoking this evening? And welcome into the show. All right. Thank you.
I didn't turn my microphone on. I was saving the microphone battery. So I wanted to be able to be heard crisp and clear out there in Radio Land. I am smoking the Cinco Décadas. My thought process was, yes, I need to smoke something Drew Estate or Drew Estate adjacent, but it needs to be something that is not on the bracket because I don't want that to be.
You don't want it to skew the data.
I don't want to sway. Right.
Well,
I don't understand exactly how the voting is going to happen.
Our votes count.
Okay.
But they don't count any more than anybody else's vote.
And I have a very important question.
Go ahead.
I saw in the bracket the Pappy Van Winkle. That is the barrel fermented Pappy Van Winkle.
It is the family reserve. Yes, it is not the tradition.
All right. And this is Steven's brainchild. He came up with the idea. He's kept me in the dark. And he has come up with this on his own, and I'm supporting this, and I don't know where this train is going to run, but we're going to put our seatbelts on and our tray tables up, and we're going to ride this ride.
So Sim says, good evening, gentlemen. Let's get this party started right. So light something up for us. We've got Rick Carroll with the love button over on Facebook. Sammy Flo and Christy Lynn, thank you for hitting the like button over on Facebook. David Helms stopping in and says, hey, Cigar Guys. Hey, Cigar Guy watcher.
Dave.
Supremo Tobacco says, hey, everybody. Mac Berkson says, no tobacco, no Selection de Mercado. So I decided not to throw in the international stuff just because I wanted to, at least with Drew Estate and probably Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, I wanted to make sure that I got in brands that I know most of our viewers have had the chance to smoke. If I put Selection de Mercado in there, you, myself, Mac, and Jay Bates are all going to be able to vote for it, right?
Yeah.
We've got 21 people currently watching. That we could, if people vote for, how can you vote for Selection de Mercado? Unless it's like Selection de Mercado versus La Vieja Habana, right?
Well, people would vote for Selection de Mercado just because
Mac's
it is
on.
Mac adjacent, and Mac. Everything is amazing wherever Mac is concerned. So,
David Helm says, good old Pappy. Sammy Flo with a good evening, gentlemen. Supremo Tobacco with the where the Crown's at. Not a Drew Estate brand. So, now Crowns wants to sponsor a segment on Chief Talk. Get at me. Michael Zakvik's got a Red Meat Lovers Porterhouse. Bob Ellis has got the old Roma Craft Quinquagenario going on. Rick Carroll's saying Crystal Ball Revelation and Crown Blackberry and Lemonade. I've heard the lemonade with the Crown Blackberry is the only way to stomach the Crown Blackberry. I've heard the Crown Blackberry is trash except with lemonade. Matt Berg says, seriously, Supremo, no Crown's ridiculous. Chief is such a hater. Not a Drew Estate brand. Charles Adamson, I'm smoking a Cohiba Weller and pairing it with a WL Weller Special Reserve Poor Man's Pappy. Hey, Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. A Sims enjoying a Placencia Almafuerte with a refreshing bottle of water. Cheers. Michael Vanakovic says, are they frozen? I hope we're not frozen. Oh, my. Mac Bergson says, BTCG's vote should count twice. Uh-oh. Jay Bates says, choo-choo. We've got the Privada Cigar Club in here. Great channel. Keep up the good work. We will try to keep it going. Thank you for that. Thank you for the compliment, Mac Bergson. But why not tobacco? I didn't see Deadwood. Did I miss it? So I didn't put tobacco in there. Look, I knew when I made this list there were going to be a lot of people saying, why didn't this make it in? Why didn't this make it in? And one of the hard parts of choosing or having Drew Estate as one of our quadrants, right? Regions. Great. great. You saved me there. One of the problems with having Drew Estate as our region, as a region within itself, is there's a lot of Drew Estate to choose from. Like Year of the Rat didn't get in there because that wasn't an international cigar. That was like, made Florida Panthers, and then like the pancetta didn't get in there. The the stuff from Wooden Indian. What is that? I guess that is a pancetta. Is that pancetta?
I believe so.
But like you got the Shady didn't make it in. The Undercrowned Sungrown didn't make it. The FSG, the 20 Acre Farm, Nika Rustica, Adobe or regular didn't make it in.
Then the Blackened.
No, I thought I put Blackened in there.
You put Blackened in there.
Did I? I think I did.
So
maybe not.
You don't need me to come to your aid because
nope,
you can defend it yourself. But I'm gonna jump in here a little bit, and I'm gonna say that I remember last week on video, you told people to reach out to you and tell you cigars that they would like to have put on the list. Did anybody reach out to you with a list?
Nope.
So they had the opportunity to help to create their list.
So I put in there what I thought were a good selection of brands that a lot of people have had the chance to smoke. I don't feel like there's a bunch of cigars in there that haven't been smoked. Jay Bates has got a Rogue Peppermint per usual. Maybe I'll squeeze a Papa Fritas in later.
Peppermint.
Max says Crowns is DE adjacent. I didn't include anything DE adjacent because while Hoya de Nicaragua is DE adjacent and they have sent us stuff, they do not sponsor the channel. Now, that is another criteria. Why, Chief, did you choose Drew Estate and Villiger and Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust and J.C. Newman? Well, those are the four brands. Those are the four tobacco companies who sponsor the Bob the Cigar Guy YouTube channel through either Chief Talk, what you're watching this evening, or through other means, like with Drew Estate sponsors Chief Talk. We have Chief of the Leaves, or Chief of the Leaf. We also have Drew's Day. They also sponsor our PCA coverage. They sponsor us for our barn smoker content that we put out every year. Steve Saka doesn't sponsor Chief Talk, but Steve Saka has been on Chief Talk. Steve Saka sponsors the Bob Cigar Guy YouTube channel with Steve Saka Sundays. JC Newman is going to be doing a quarterly sponsorship here on the YouTube channel that's coming up soon. And then Villiger is doing monthly, and that's also new as well. So that's why we went with those four companies and not with the adjacent. If I went with the adjacent, I think the only company that I could have done anything adjacent with would be Drew Estate. And Drew Estate already has enough brands to cover 16 slots.
Easily.
Because then I've got to look at, like, I throw in, Debonair, Wooden Indian, or not Wooden Indian, but Indian Motorcycle, Hoya de Nicaragua, stuff like that.
Debonair.
I said Debonair.
Did you?
So now, why did I not go to back? I felt like I probably, it seems like when we talk about cigars that are either flavored or infused, right? There seems to be a whole lot of, oh, well, that just sucks. And then they've never tried it before just because they've not wanted to go that range. So I threw in two cigars that we talked about, or one cigar that we talk about all the time, the Plush, and one cigar in the Acid line that does well across the board, right? The Cuba Cuba. And so I felt like if I put, 6 or 8 infused or flavored type cigars in here, they're automatically going to get voted out unless they get paired up against each other.
Well, I don't know, because you also have a third infused cigar, which is the Pappy Van Winkle Barrel Fermented. And I think that one's going to hold well. I know it will catch my vote. That is for sure.
Rick Carroll says it tastes like NyQuil. Hopefully it don't put you out. Sean Crowley, H99 and drinking Heineken. Nice. Wacky Pack says you chose wisely. Joey Van Nordstrom, what's up, fellas? From me and Pez. What up? What up, fellas? Charles Adamson, lighten up, folks. Just a game. That's right. got hurt my face, especially you, Mac. Jerk. Enjoying a Dunbarton 80th edition. Can't wait to see the bracket down the road. Oh, I'm excited. I think so. I thought about maybe switching it up and doing Dunbarton this week, but then I remembered that Smoke Inn is doing the Great Smoke this weekend, and I feel like everybody, because it's Thursday night, nobody's available. So I felt like with at least Drew Estate being tonight, we would have a lot of content to pack in. We got a lot to talk about with cigars. We have a lot of history with Drew Estate. Most everybody in here has smoked a bunch of Drew Estate or enough Drew Estate to have a really good informed opinion on this.
I'm not sure about Mac or Jay Bates. I don't think they smoke very much.
Mac says true, Charles, but it's tough to forego a chance to keep Chief humble. Or you could just reword it to say it's tough to forego me being a complete douchebag. Christy Whitmore, I'm enjoying a Dunbarton Sakakan. Ooh, nice. Jay Bates, Cuba Cuba is a sleeper. The first cigar that got me in the game. I like the Cuba Cuba. That big old box press. Big old box press. Speaking of big old box presses, this is not a Drew Estate cigar, but how about CAO's new muffler? Resonator. Sorry.
Resonator.
A 7x70.
No, 8x60.
Is it 8x60?
8x60.
8x60
Read your
box
press releases.
press. I did put a press release out on this.
I said, read your press releases.
Look, I don't smoke a lot of CAO, so I don't know. Maybe I should, commit those things better to memory. But talking about a box press, a big box press,
it's a solid stick.
That's a big old boy.
I've already shot the review. I just haven't edited yet. It took 2.5 hours to smoke that cigar.
David Helm says plush is awesome.
I got a crush on that plush.
Law Reams says I'm available.
Oh, don't play with me.
Jamie Vaughn says, hey, Chief and BTCG. Hey, Jamie Vaughn. Glad to see you this evening.
Hey, Steven, Law Reams available.
Wacky Packy says, hashtag Team Chief. Finally, I'm starting to get a little bit of love. Miss Allison Trainer. What up, boys? What up, Miss Allison? Hope to see you at PCA in a month. I know you're going because the email.
Oh, did I tell you? Law Reams available.
Law Reams available.
The catalytic converter. They did, but the plans got stole. 2 sawzalls crawled up under the truck.
Funny. When are they going to come out with the catalytic converter? Chrissy Whitmore says size matters. That's why I went with the Feral this evening. Now, you said you were going with the Hoya?
Yes, the Cinco de Caras, which actually is smoking extremely tight tonight.
Oh. Bet if you had a nice guillotine cut on there.
Take it back.
Well, no, but it's not
Take
on
it
a
back.
Take it back.
It back. It is on a bias. It is not perfectly flat.
That is
you
not
said
a
he said you have a guillotine cut on there. It's a guillotine cut, but did he take it back? No, he didn't take it back. See, those millennials.
Charles Adamson says I get on a plane at West Palm at 7. Red Meat Lover at 7 tomorrow night. Is anyone here going to the Great Smoke? J Bates, BTCG, let's keep it PG. Wacky Packy, are we all having an after party at PCA? I mean, PCA does have some after parties.
Every night.
Especially the Friday one is like everybody's party included, no extra price or anything like that. Now, obviously, you have to be somebody who has a badge to get in. Not like people can just roam in off the street. I correct myself. I'm not saying that certain people can't be there. I'm saying because when I said everybody's included, it's not everybody. It's people who are allowed to be PCA.
Attendees. Now, me and Mac Berkson will be having a show in the evenings after PCA. I would love to find out that Law Ream is available, but I know he's going to be extremely busy post PCA evenings. So to have him as a co-host would be near on impossible. But he'll be there in my heart. Allison
Trainer says straight cut all day. Absolutely. Now Wacky Packy is now on Team BTCG. Well, that sucks because I finally had somebody on Team Chief. It's funny because if there were no Chief talk, I think people would be on Team Chief because they wouldn't know who I was. But because I run a stream every week, people like to just, especially Mac, since he's the ringleader of the crap brigade,
It's because they love you.
Bob Ellis says, if you have Mac, you don't need anybody else.
Let's all give Steven some love to help him with his poor, sad feelings.
Mac Bergen says, I agree, Bob Ellis. I should release all of the footage of the interview. That you maybe not like release it as a video, just make a video and then play it here on Chief Talk. Because what I did, Scream Tobacco says he also loves Bob. Chrissy Whitmore's on Team Chief. Here we go. But no, I went ahead and started rolling the camera while they weren't paying attention, and on it is one Mac saying, "Hey man, just kind of key me in on everything. What you want to say. Just kind of lead me in, and I'll run with it." And then at the end, I've got like 45 seconds of Mac actually saying how much he appreciates the work that I do and making you both look good on video and editing it just right so that I catch all the right light and angles.
I'm not going to say that we knew that you were doing that, and this was all one of those like punked things where we were saying things to make you feel good about yourself, or you do a great job.
Yeah,
you do. You have the hardest job.
Kelly Gower, Sherry Ellis Freeman, Miss Sherry, thank you for hitting the like buttons over on Facebook. Gary Zandra says, "What? Everyone forgot it was Chief Night." Mac Bergen says, "I always say I appreciate Chief.
He does.
Somebody to punch at." Listen to him. All right, so the way tonight's voting is going to go, I have this pulled up, and I'm gonna see if it will work for me. If any new comments come and roll around, just answer those for me, will you, or read them out to me, or whatever.
Charles Adamson said, I'm on your team, Chief, unless Mac and Adam are both absent. Somebody has to be your foil. Allison Trainer says, Chief takes amazing photos at events.
Aw, thanks.
Mac says, Chief does do an amazing job, but we just want continuous improvement. Make Chief Talk great forever. See, that was kind.
Customizations. This one. I wanted to go. So I learned that. I thought. So there's a there was a way to run polls and things of the sort through YouTube, and I think I might have to be actually like streaming from YouTube in order to run the polls. I'm gonna come over here and see if pulling this up, if I can run polls, participants, pop that channel. No, that's what I was hoping, was to be able to run polls for the. Why are you doing that? Oh, stop! Don't do that. Banger John says, "Must say, I really enjoy this lighting."
See, enjoy the lighting.
No, he's not talking about that.
We could do thunder.
I just hate that the quality only comes through at 720p. I hate that. It frustrates the fool out of me.
There's lightning.
All right, so unfortunately, let me come back over here. Come over here to YouTube Studio. See if I can figure this out one more time without screwing anything up. Content. Hey, aren't you supposed to be reading chat for me over there instead of playing with lights?
Oh, wait. I'm supposed to. Jay Bates says when he's not leaning on a barn or laying in the hay with Joao. As in doing an amazing job. The DPF filters I work on the big trucks, which is catalyst on steroids, costs us $3,000 wholesale. Let's hope they never make cigars at that price. Banker John says, must say, I really enjoy this lighting. Mac Bergson says Chief is running with the Bulls. Very dangerous. Allison Trainer said Chief is running the polls. Get your dollar bills. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Not those polls.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So,
Law Ream said lighting is looking great. Good job. Much higher quality. Very professed. Law, dude, I love you.
all right. So,
Mine's not as orange as somebody else's.
what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up the poll over here. POLL, not POLE for you miscreants over here. And I'm going to share. Oh, I need to. Why did that? Window. Oh, not what I want. Over here. Grab this. Share. All right. So I have the poll. POLL up. Oh, that shrunk the. So again, we have, just to go ahead and read this off, and it's up there completely on the screen. We have the Liga Privada number 9 versus the La Vieja Habana, H99 versus the Kentucky Fire Cured, the Feral versus the Acid Plush, the Undercrown Maduro versus the Undercrown Shade, the Liga Privada T52 versus the KFC Swamp Thing, the L40 versus the Herrera Esteli Brazilian, the Pappy Van Winkle. This is the barrel fermented. This is the not the tradition versus the acid Cuba Cuba. And we have the Undercrown 10 versus the Norteño. So we're going to, the way we're going to run this is I am going to keep a tab of all who vote, hopefully. And I'm just going to keep a running number of what I see in the chat. And we'll go where we are 30 minutes basically into stream. We're 28 minutes into the stream, so basically 30 minutes into the stream. You can see the both of us here on stream still. I don't know what the heck Bob Cigar guy's doing over there. It looks like he's falling asleep in his chair. But I'm going to try to make sure that I catch the number of votes for each. Also, try to catch all of the names who have voted. That way, you get your name entered in to the drawing to win.
Laureem asked the question, do I need to go to YouTube for this poll?
So actually, I'm not going to be running the clickable poll in the chat. Now that I have a better computer that can handle a stream better, I might go back to Streamlabs, where I was actually able to run all that information through and build my own everything. We go through StreamYard just because it's been easier, but I might go to Streamlabs, and then that way we don't have to pay for StreamYard anymore. Save the channel some money, and then that way I can actually kind of run polls and all that kind of stuff based off of links in chat. Cigar Dojo does it fantastically because they can run a poll and they can send a poll to both Facebook and YouTube, and it compiles all the data and sends it back. I don't think it tells you who voted, but it tells you how many people voted. You only vote once per app, so you could technically get 2 votes in. But we are going to, I'm just going to have to visually watch all of the
This is
voting.
Going to be fun.
Which hopefully won't be too difficult. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up the Notes app in my phone, and I'm just going to put tick marks on 2 sides of my screen. So that should work flawlessly, fantastically. So I've turned my Notes app on its side, and we'll put 1. Oh, I got to get to the pin. 1 versus 2. Whoop. You can kind of see. And then I'll just do Roman numerals. I've got the chat pulled up. And then all I got to do is when somebody wins, I click on their name and they advance all the way. And then let me reset the winners so that I can come back to over here. Where'd it go? There it is. And then hit save. All right, so it took it back off. All right, so we are going to start the Drew Estate Regional Tournament bracket. Now we're going to go this first selection here. The Liga Privada number 9 versus the La Vieja Habana. Y'all stop voting. Please stop voting past what we're on. Please don't go. Please. Hey, Jay Bates, stop. Jay Bates, stop. I will call you midstream and tell you to stop on stream. Please stop, because that's going to mess up my voting. So we're going to go ahead and go now. And I'm going to start with Adam Wolf. So anything above Adam Wolf isn't going to count. So we got 1 for Liga 9, Wacky Tobacco.
Just vote once, please, per person.
Mac Bergson, or Jay Bates is the Liga 9. Mac Bergson's the La Vieja Habana. Kelly Gower is the Liga 9. Connoisseur, Liga 9. Charles Adamson, Liga 9. Rick Carroll, number 9. Michael Zachfet, number 9. Sean Crawley, number 9. La Reem with the La Vieja, number 9 over here for Supremo Tobacco. So that's 12 votes so far. It doesn't tell you how many people are. Banker John, everybody is 9. And how about a vote for not Liga 9? Well, then that's a vote for La Vieja Habana. Bob Ellis, Liga 9. So that's a majority already, because I think we are on 21. So that's 12 votes. That's an automatic dub for the Liga Privada number 9. I fully expected that. Expected that. So let's come down here and we'll do the Liga Privada T52 versus the KFC Swamp Thing. And we'll go ahead and start the voting there. Aha, Banker John, I caught you. So it's the T52 versus the Swamp Thing. Now, I will be putting names into chat later for winning. And then tonight we will do a drawing with those names entered. Whoa, T52 by a landslide.
I'm going Swampy.
I also, not that it's going to matter, T52 would be my vote as well. But again, T52 easily into the votes. All right, so don't go ahead and start figuring out where to vote next. I'm going to go ahead and do a little intermission. I've got to make sure this live stream stretches at least an hour. So what we talked about last week when we were spitballing and talking about this idea was, actually, let me come over here and let's stop. Ooh, I just went ahead and took it off automatically. Stop sharing the screen. Nothing's changed on the bracket. When we get back to the bracket will be fine. We are going to be doing a giveaway every week. And up until the final, except for the week of PCA. So the calendar is this. Today is February 22nd. The next Thursday is the 29th, leap year. Happy 29th of February. Then we have the 7th of March. Then the 14th of March. So there's 4 weeks. Those 4 weeks, we're going to be doing these regional brackets. Right? On the 21st, which is the 5th week, we're going to be at PCA. That's the day that we travel out to PCA. I don't know if we're going to do a live stream out there or not. We might. We're not really going to have anything to do. There's not anything planned for us while we're there that night. So we might do a Chief Talk then. Don't know. We're going to be doing live streams sponsored by Villiger while we're out there. And then the 28th, the last Thursday of the month for March, is going to be our Final Four championship bracket. So every divisional round is going to have a winner, right? So Drew Estate's going to definitely have somebody in the Final Four. Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust is going to have somebody in the Final Four. Villiers going to have somebody in the Final Four, and JC Newman's going to have somebody in the Final Four. One of the reasons I did that is because if I put the top 16 of each of those companies in each bracket, which means I would put 4 of each company into each regional bracket, I have a sneaking suspicion that Drew Estate and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust would take all of those spots, if not one of those companies taking all of those spots. Because we have a lot of Drew heads in here. We have a lot of Dumbarton heads in here. And so it's not unheard of for me to say, or not unnatural for me to think, if I put, 4 Dumbarton, 4 Drew Estate, and 4, or in each one of these brackets, I think that the first 8 teams out are all going to be Villiger and JC Newman. Just because we have so many people who love Drew Estate and so many people who love Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust on the stream. Not saying that a Cinderella couldn't make it a little farther, right? I mean, you might have Diamond Crown Maximus upset a Liga number 9. Or you might have a Villiger Miami beat out an Umbagog from Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, right? Those could happen, right? Those could happen. But this guarantees that at least one or only one of each brand gets represented in the final championship. All of our sponsors get represented in the championship, and that's a big thing if you didn't already think about it. So every week you're going to get a chance to get drawn into the winnings. Now, the first 4 weeks, you can only win once, right? So if my boy Supremo Tobacco wins tonight, he cannot win next week, the 3rd week, or the 4th week. So and so on and so forth, right? Just play the scenarios. The way that you get entered in to win is you participate
But they can win the last week, right?
They can, yes.
Because that's a big.
But I'm getting to that point. I'm getting to that one. So the winnings is just going to be 4 cigars for the first 4 weeks. Oh no, 4 free cigars, right? 1 from each company, 1 from Drew, 1 from Dunbarton, 1 from Villiger, 1 from JC Newman. We're going to mail out all of the prizes at the same time. So we won't mail out the prizes until the big championship is done. Did it get darker in here? Did the lights go off or something up on the top of the roof? It's funny. Something went out. So the way that you get entered in is you participate in the voting. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and write some people's names down, and then we'll do a spin wheel tonight with all the people who participated. You only get entered in once, no matter how much you put in. So I'm going to go ahead. If you've been participating in the chat, you're going to get entered in your name. So I'm going to do that really quick. And then what I'll do is I won't get your shipping information yet. I will get your shipping information in 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So if you win, make sure you come back for the last week. Because if I can't get a hold of you, then I don't know how to get a hold of you. Is that all right with you there, Bob the Cigar Guy?
Bubba, whatever you want to do is fine with me.
What are you doing?
Cutting the lights on. Your light's not on. You're fine.
Yeah, but I'm kind of hoping, relying on you to kind of carry the show a little bit while I'm over
How
here.
am I carrying the show? You talking the whole time, telling all these interesting.
You can jump in at any time.
People, was there a spot to jump in? No, there was not a spot to jump in. Steve was taking care of it extremely well. I was very impressed as I was sitting here trying to. When you get more technology, you get more problems. More money, more problems. So I'm sitting here trying to work on the fly, trying to make this look decent. I'm waiting for my other light to go out. So Steven's doing what Steven's doing. Do a live stream of the slots? Probably not. Shad Bates says, can we throw out a couple cigars in the bracket and replace them with some BTCG coffee? See where that stacks up. The perfect pair is where it's at for a good percolated cup of Morning Joe. That is for sure. What about my twin brother, DePrimo Sabaco? He's cool. DePrimo Sabaco sounds like a Far Eastern superhero. Oh, DePrimo Sabaco.
That's funny.
Or a Tupperware salesman from the 60s. Wacky Packets a cool participation award. Max says Chiefs getting his exercise, flapping those gums of awesomeness. Republic of Debauchery
I don't
said
think the awesomeness was thrown
Republic
in there.
of Debauchery said, I don't think Chief even took a breath in the last 10 minutes. You good, Bob. Thanks a lot. Man, I appreciate you. The Republic of Debauchery. I wish there was only like Cigars of Debauchery. Or Republic of Cigars. Republic of Cigars. I screwed that one up really bad. There probably is Cigars of Debauchery, and I would not smoke them. But I would smoke Republic of Cigars if I ever had the opportunity. Adam O says, I think BTCG needs to remind Chief of the parrot on his shoulder.
Lord, please no.
More cigars, less problems. The Tupperware salesman. That's right, man. Tupperware is good.
All right, so I've got the names down that
I guess I talked enough.
that I see. And now we will jump back into the bracket. Jump back over here. Share my screen. All right, so now we are going to do. Let's do
So you're jumping around?
Yeah, why not? Because people are going to try to start guessing in the comments when they start seeing. Oh, he's going to go there.
So what? You said they don't start till you say now, and then they don't.
Yeah, but it makes it harder for me if I don't have a visual cue of where I said start and stop. Because when we did T52 and KFC Swamp Thing, it was boom, it was a bunch.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Man, I don't know. My anxiety's a little high right now. So we're going to do Undercrown Maduro versus the Undercrown Shade. So I would go ahead and start taking those down. Basically, just going to count until I get to anything over 11. Because we have 22 people currently watching.
Makes sense.
So once I get over 11...
Do you want me to count out the Maduros? You just count the shades?
No, I got it. I can see where it's at. As the chat runs, I'll just kind of... This is actually a pretty contested vote. So we've got 1, 2, 3 until we get to a shade. 1, 2, 3, and then 1. So come to the shade. Laureen says, have a cigar, Chief. It'll calm you down. I'm sure it will. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 before we get 2, 3, 4, and then another shade. Another shade, and then a Maduro from Laureen. I'm just putting comments up because it actually helps me.
No, and start and stop there.
Oh, Law's got it on. He was smart. He's giving me a double view. So he gets another vote.
He's getting a triple.
Is he?
Because he's doing Law Ream as well.
So double, because he's Republic of Debauchery and Law Ream.
He's Republic of Debauchery Facebook and Republic of Debauchery.
No, he's Law Ream Facebook and Republic of Debauchery YouTube. Asim is Maduro. MKK is Shade. And then Jay Bates is Shade. Oh, we're not too. Oh, Connoisseur, we got. We
closer
got
than I thought this would be.
A lot closer because we're at 10-6. So Supremo Tobacco is Maduro, but we're at 25 viewers, so now I technically
13.
need 13 for a majority. I haven't missed any, so we'll let the poll run for, I don't know, another 30 seconds, and then we'll call it there. So just gonna put this there. I'll just keep talking. My
Jay Bates said you need to pour some Buffalo Trace.
yeah, I'm trying to do all these nice things for people. Have these fun interactive events, and I just get crapped on.
And this is your first. This is the biggest thing like this you've ever done, isn't it?
I mean,
Professional. I
this
mean,
is
with
the
all the
first-
brackets and all that
This is
other
the first
stuff.
time I've ever done anything like this. It could have been bigger.
Does a new computer make it easier?
Yes.
Can you see where my hand is right now?
You
see that? Can you see that?
Okay, so
I voted 1.
It was 11-6. Come over here and take this. So Mac, I'm gonna go back and write those names down in just a second. But I'm gonna keep your comment there just so I can know where I'm at. Thank you, Chrissy Whitmore. So it was 11-6, which is actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought that the Maduro was just going to take off.
I did too.
Because I don't know a lot of Underground Shade smokers.
Underground Shade is one of the very good shade cigars. It's not bitter. That new smokers, I recommend to get an Underground Shade. You know the construction is going to be good. You know the flavors are going to be full, and it's going to have good smoke output, which a new smoker especially wants to have that experience of the new smoke out, the big smoke output. So,
yeah.
Great cigar.
Now, one of the things that I thought about
Thanks, Michael.
saying was if you can if you like a certain Vitola of one more than the other, I'm not going by Vitola. I'm just going by blends.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, because then I need a whole 64 bracket.
More than that,
right?
I mean,
I've got to go H99 Flying Pig versus the H99 Phineas Gage,
right? Versus the H99 Papa Fritas,
names.
which, as we all know, you can tell the difference between the diameter of a Papa Fritas and a Lancero Phineas Gage because they're
Rebecca
different
Bergson.
sizes. So I'm just saying. You can't tell the difference.
The leader of the Bergson household, Miss Rebecca, is in here.
The saint.
All right, so I've added the new names to the list. The list continues to grow. Shad Bates, thanks for the love button over on Facebook. Rebecca Bergson, Anthony Carlson, Jeremy Smith, Ron Maggio, Dan Burns, Eric Orta. Thank you for hitting the like button over on Facebook. All right, so now we are going to come back over here to we're going to come back over here to the bracket, and let's go. Whoop. Let's go to do all this moving around. Let's do the Undercrown 10 versus the Norteño. I also am voting Norteño, and that's something that I didn't do last time. Was I didn't count my vote. Now I would have voted Undercrown Maduro, even though I like the shade Suprema a lot. I like the Undercrown Maduro more than I like any of the shade.
I would vote the Norteño. Isn't that a pretty picture? Look how white that band is with that green backdrop. That is photography artistry at its best right there.
At its finest, huh? All right.
If only I could have focused it. But.
Rick Carroll is on the Norteño. Adam Wolf is on the Norteño. Republic of Debauchery is on the Norteño. Connoisseur is on the Norteño. Mac Bergson is on the UC10. Michael Zakovic is on the Norteño. Rebecca is on the Undercrown 10. Bob Ellis, Undercrown 10. Charles Adamson, Undercrown 10. Christy Whitmore, Undercrown 10. Ooh. Wacky Packy 10. Ascend 10. Whoa! Kelly Gower on the Norteño. Jay Bates, UC 10. MKK Norteño. So this is very, very close. This is 9-8
That's close.
right now. So we will continue to wait. Now, Jay Bates, I'm surprised you went UC10. I feel like you were more of a Norteño guy. I figured when anything Herrera came up, you were going to be a Herrera guy. Come over here, make sure I don't lose my. Mac Berkson says Paul and Sam both vote for UC10. They're underage, so their vote can't count. I was trying to think of a really good way to make sure I couldn't just take their votes. All right, so sitting here at 9 versus 8 with 25 people watching. So there's a few more people who could chime in. One person could set this up at a tie, and then we've got to do a coin flip.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for Norteño.
I did too.
You voted for Norteño. So technically, more of our viewers voted for Underground 10, but because our votes count. Stephen Nessie with the Norteño. So now,
oh, Steve,
the big Steve. What's up,
my man?
So we will give this another 30 seconds. So we are at 52:15 when I said that. So when it's at 52:45, I will officially close the voting on this. So wow, how about that? Underground 10 Norteño giving us our first real fight of the night.
I can see that. I can see that. Norteño's been around for 10 years.
Norteño with Shad Bates.
Norteño's 10 years as Willie's first blend, if I'm not mistaken.
With Drew Estate.
With Drew Estate. That was his first launch blend. And the Underground 10 has been around, 2 years? The second year now?
Yeah.
So it's still got that freshy fresh. And it's got a gorgeous band with the whole stripe over the top. And it's a great cigar.
Yeah. All right. So it has been the full 30 seconds, and Norteño pulled away late.
Waboom!
With a total of 11 to
Shaddy
8.
Bates and Steve saved the day.
So Norteño goes in the through the next round. Now let's add names to the voting list. Stephen Essie now gets entered in.
Rebecca Lee Berkson
she's already in?
Fixed.
Oh, fixed.
She said fixed.
Anybody else jump in that I haven't gotten a name for yet? I don't think so. No. So Steve was the only person new into that vote. So we'll go ahead and run it. Let me erase my thingamajig over here.
Thingamajig.
Just make sure I have a. Maybe I'll go a little easier on myself here and not choose something that I don't know.
You're gonna have to choose them all.
That is. Let me do a look here, because that's a good battle right there. The Cuba Pappy and Winkle, not a bad battle. The L40 Herrera, Esli Brazilian, that's a pretty good battle. The Farrell versus Acid Plush, I think I know where that's going. And then the H99 Kentucky Fire Cured, I think I know where that's going to go as well. Yeah. Man, Adam Wolf hadn't been gone long enough. Gary Zanstra came in with the UC10. So your stream's a little late, Gary.
Rebecca said boycott Carhartt. You gonna fuss at her like you fuss at Mac and everybody else?
Absolutely not.
Huh? What?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, smart man. She won't let Mac come to Vegas and play. If you're mean, don't be mean.
All right. So, Bob the Cigar Guy, which route do you want to go? We've got H99 versus the KFC. The Farrell versus the Farrell versus the Acid Plush.
Well, you're smoking that Farrell.
The L40 versus the Herrera Esteli Brazilian. The Pappy Van Winkle versus the Acid Cuba.
You know, that's the one I'm the most interested in. Thinking, I don't know how it's going to go because there is a cult following of Pappy, and Acid Cuba was 4 or 5 years ago the number one first cigar of most cigar smokers.
Sure, but I think if we were polling every cigar smoker in the world, we would have an interesting poll. I think with our audience this evening, it's not going to be.
Well, I know
close.
Steve is going to vote for Acid Cuba.
So that's what you want to do? You want to do Pappy Van Winkle
Steve's
versus
always
Acid?
trying to go to the Acid tent at the bar and smoke.
Is that what you want to do? The Pappy Van Winkle versus Acid Cuba?
Let's do the
All right.
Van Winkle
So we're going to do the Pappy Van Winkle versus the Acid Cuba. And we'll go ahead and start off with Steve Anesi here with the vote for
Safari Stop. My man.
For Pappy.
My man. It ain't no better than Safari Stop.
Whatever.
That's the fact. Oh, Mac's got a Cuba.
All right.
Kelly's got a Cuba.
Rick Carroll is a Pappy. Adam Wolf's a Pappy. Mackie B is Cuba. Bob Ellis is a Pappy. Charles Adamson is a Pappy. Connoisseur is a Pappy. Kelly is Cuba. Supremo Tobacco. My internet died.
A woman that supports her man. I'm just saying.
Michael Zachbeck, Pappy. Christy Whitmore, Pappy. Supremo Tobacco, what did I miss? You missed the Underground 10 versus the Norteño. The Norteño won. Rebecca Lee says Crowns, then Kiba. So we're going to go Cuba. Wacky Packy went Pappy. Supremo went Pappy. Gary Zanstra went Cuba.
All right.
Shad Bates says the triplets all day, every day. So that's the Pappy Girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the Pappy Girls. MKK went with Pappy. Sim went Cuba. And Jay Bates went Cuba. Jay, are you and Mac like texting each other? Let's vote for the same thing. I know they are. I know that they're probably on a phone call right now.
You are so important in their mind right now, aren't you? Conspiring like
so
minions.
We got 21 people on, and 12 voted for the Pappy Van Winkle.
Pappy.
I did not think that was. It's 12-6, so I guess that's,
you know what? That's about like
it's
the Undercrown.
It's not bad.
That's like the Undercrown.
It's not bad.
That's the same strength as the Undercrown Shade. The Undercrown.
The Undercrown Maduro and the Undercrown Shade.
Yeah.
And more
not
votes.
Bad.
More votes for the Cuba than I had anticipated.
Not bad.
But not surprising at all. I like the Cuba.
In the cigar lifestyle, I believe the Cuba is like the Greatest Showman or Pitch Perfect. You really like the movie and you want to watch it, but you don't want to let anybody know that you like the movie and you want to watch it. You know, it's just you sing along with a cup scene in Pitch Perfect, but you don't let your friends know. So
I don't think anybody voted that round that I don't have in the current list. No. J8 says, believe it or not, I do work at times. Yeah, I also know that I called you a couple weeks ago and you told me that you and Mac were talking during Chief Talk about things.
You bring people together, Chief.
I do. Mac Burton says, in a Kendrick all day. What are we comparing movies?
I got a ticket for a long way home.
Supreme says, closet Cuba lovers. Cuba lovers, like our boy Greg. All right, so I don't have to add any names to the list, so we can dive right back in. I am excited to start getting into the Sweet 16. Or I guess it is technically the Sweet 16, but we're only going to have 8. So let's go back up here and let's do the H99 versus the Kentucky Fire Cured. I don't think this one will be close at all. Now, we didn't vote the last round. It wouldn't have mattered.
That's my vote.
That's okay. So you're an H99.
Is that not an amazing picture?
You're an H99. I'm actually going KFC.
Is that not an amazing picture? Supreme Tobacco. What do you think about that picture?
So Mac Bergson is going with the KFC along with me. He's voted. Adam Wolf is KFC along with me. Republic of Debauchery is H99. Rebecca is the KFC. KFC out to a quick. Bob Ellis with the KFC.
No, the H99 is running
Law
wild.
Ream with the H99. Kelly with the H99. Christy with the H99. Wacky with the H99. Supremo Tobacco with the H90. Yeah, here comes the runaway. Charles Adamson, Rick Carroll, a Sim. That's 1, 2, 3. MKK with the H99. Gary Zanstra, Michael Zakovic with the KFC. Steve Anesi with the H99. Rebecca says Chief does have talent in photography for sure. Oh, thank you so much. Gary Brooks says Chief.
That was my picture.
Cigar Connoisseur, Gary Brooks and Jay Bates, all with the H99. So again, not bad data here. 15-7.
Wow.
Now Gary Brooks voted, so he gets his name added.
Gary Brooks.
He gets his added in to the giveaway for participation. Anybody else? I don't think so. I don't think anybody else was new other than Gary Brooks that go around. Wacky Pack says this is H99 Wave. Woo! All right, so H99 won that one, right? Yep.
Yes.
The wave of KFC there kind of surprised me a little bit. I said KFC just because KFC is one of my first loves. KFC sweet, definitely. I went KFC, not the sweet, because I feel like I hear more people talk about the regular KFC instead of the KFC sweet. I don't think it would have changed anything in the votes had I said, what is that, a stink bug?
Yep. He was dancing around my Diet Pepsi.
All right. Second to last vote for this round. We'll go the L40 versus the Herrera Esteli Brazilian.
I'm going no hair.
I'm going L40. You're going where?
No hair.
No hair.
The Brazilian.
Oh, funny. MKK says, where is the Herrera Esteli Habano? It's not on this list. I can't put every Drew Estate cigar on the list because I'm only doing 16 from each company. So I did, or you did the Brazilian.
Yes.
So Adam Wolf did the L40. MKK did the L40. I did the L40. Rick Carroll, L40. Mac Bergson, the Herrera. Bob Ellis, the Herrera. Charles Adamson, the Herrera. Here, Michael Zakovic, Herrera, Rebecca, Herrera. Supremo Tobacco says, I haven't had either, so I vote underdog, so he's voting with Chief. Kelly going Herrera. Christy going Herrera. This is surprising. Stephen Essie with the L40.
Well, I don't think it's surprising.
Gary Brooks with the L40. We're at 7 versus 8, by the way. 7 versus 9 now. 7 versus 10. Law split his votes. He went 1-1 and one the other. Wacky Packy, Herrera. Shad Bates, L40. A lot of writing for me to get to the very end. And a sim with Herrera. So that is 12-9 right now. 12-9 is what? 21?
Jace is Herrera.
Tree says Herrera. Jay's just saying Herrera because he knows that I said L40. Jay's just voting against me. Just pay attention to that. He's voting against me. Because he didn't vote with Mac for the KSC because Mac and I both voted. Jeez, that is a tongue twister.
They both voted.
Both voted is what I couldn't get out. Both voted alike every time except for that one because I voted before Jay got his vote in. And Matt got his vote in before that agreed with me before Jay got his vote in. Connoisseur. So Herrera, the Brazilian, wins. That is actually surprising to me.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it's that close because the exclusivity of the L40, it's harder to get, and the Vitola is the Lancero, if I'm not mistaken, which Lanceros statistically do not sell as much, and also the price point. There's a higher price point on the L40 than a Herrera.
Max
so
says
I thought more people would have tried the Herrera than the L40.
Max says, so Jay Bates is not allowed to have his own opinion in Chiefs America?
Oh my.
He's allowed to have his own opinion. I just think he's anti-Chiefs tonight. When I talk to him on the way home tonight, he'll be like, "Oh, I'm just kidding around, man." I love Jay Bates so much. Look, Jay and I talk for a lot every week. Jay says Chief needs to have his tinfoil hat on. I need to have some hat props over here. I need to have a dunce cap, a tinfoil hat.
That would be fun.
Get some of that stuff going on over here just in case. Not the cone of shame.
A Viking helmet, Indian headdress.
I don't think anybody new voted that round. Let me doubly check. I don't think so.
Gary, I know. I was wondering when you were going to say, hey, when are y'all going to be there? And I'm sitting here trying to figure out what day off I'd have to be able to swing through. But I hope you have a great time at the Great Smoke.
He's not going. That's what he's saying.
He's not going?
No, he didn't go.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you're not going to have a great time at the Great Smoke. I just thought you were going to fly or something like that. And it was time constraints.
Rebecca Bergson says Team Jay Bates. I'm wondering if Rebecca Bergson's profile isn't logged in somebody's computer.
No.
You don't think Mac would do that?
No, I don't.
Look, and then Mac says right after, totally agree, Rebecca.
Now, I could see Rebecca saying from the other room, which one do I vote for? Because I don't think she's a connoisseur of many cigars.
Yes, Jay Bates, I did find it. I actually wore it the other day. Gary Brooks says, no, if I was flying, I'd be stopping first. Yeah, you can fly through
Well,
Greenville.
hopefully you get one of the Barn Smoker tickets this year.
We fly direct to Miami from Greenville, so Greenville could technically be a destination that you could fly to and through because we have a direct flight to Miami. All right, so let me come back over here to the poll. I believe it's just the Feral versus the Acid Plush. Now, we'll go ahead and start voting. I'm going to go ahead and say Feral because I'm smoking a Feral. Right. But when it comes to a Feral versus an Acid Plush,
it's Plush.
I'm not choosing Plush.
I got a crush on the Plush.
I know you do. Adam Wolf, Steve, Anesi, both over here with the Feral. Steel Bob, old Bob Ellis with the Plush. Rick Carroll Farrell, Republic of Debauchery Farrell, Kelly Farrell, Christy Whitmore Farrell, Michael Zakovic Farrell, Laureen Farrell, Mac Bergson, Plush, Supremo Tobacco Farrell, Wacky Packy Farrell, MKK with the Pig, Gary Zanstra with the Acid Plush, Rebecca Bergson with the Plush, Charles Adamson with the Plush. Gary Brooks says, love the Plush, but the Feral takes it. Jay Bates, Feral. Oh, now he's trying to prove me wrong. Now he's trying to play mind games. He thinks he's playing mind games, but I know what he's doing. I can see through that bald head. Connoisseur Eric with Feral. Adam Wolf says, I agree. Gary Brooks I love the plush. I think we can contest the vote there. It's 15-6. I fully expected that. That was the landslide.
That expected.
That in the Liga 9 versus the La Vieja Habana.
Which that's still it intrigues me that you picked La Vieja Habana because they don't even sell those anymore.
Okay, but it doesn't matter whether or not they're sold or not. It's have you had it? Have you enjoyed it? Have you smoked it? And that's Drew Estate's first blend, right?
Chateau Real, wasn't it?
I think it's La Vieja Habana.
It probably is La Vieja Habana. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
So, and one of the things I wanted to do is I actually wanted to put some blends on here that I'm not the biggest fan of. Just because I know that my palate is not the
cigars from our sponsors are you not the biggest fan
of? Cigars that I put on here that I'm not big fans of. Out of the KSC Swamp Thing, absolutely hate it. I like the Undercrown Shade, but I only like the Undercrown Shade in the Suprema Vitola. I don't like it in any other Vitolas.
That's the double perfector, right?
And then the La Vieja Habana. I'm not a big fan of that cigar at all.
That shade you're talking about, that's the double perfecto.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like that cigar, except I hate that it's a double perfecto because I could never get a good burn on that. So the first inch and a half of that cigar, I'm having to touch it up, trying to run it around. I have the hardest time with, and that's a tight, pointy double perfecto too.
Yeah,
it's almost like you have to light it with a match.
So I included some cigars in there that I personally didn't like, but I know others do like. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the La Vieja, but I know people like that cigar. I know people were upset last year when Drew Estate announced they weren't going to be producing that cigar anymore. The Undercrown Shade. I mean, that Undercrown Shade, Undercrown Maduro fight wasn't a bad fight. Wasn't as close as the closest one we've had so far is the 10 versus the Norteño, right? Now, the one that really surprised me was the L40 Herrera Brazilian. But you're right. I didn't think to take into effect that that's a over $20 cigar versus a mid-range $10 cigar. And the only shops that can have that L40 are DDRP big accounts.
Big accounts.
So, all right. Let's see. So Chief picked cigars he's not a fan of and put them up against ones he knows they would lose. Well, I had to put them in some sort of ranking, right? If you're unfamiliar with how tournament brackets work, you have in each area you've got 16 teams and you've got 16 seeds. We didn't have any play-ins. I thought about doing some play-ins, but I thought that might be a little too hard. Plus, I don't think this software had a play-in feature. There was a double elimination feature, but I was like, okay, that's gonna take forever if we do double elimination. Because then all your losers verse each other,
right? And
then the winner of all the losers gets to go off against,
and the fun starts to fall out of it. I mean, you did something like this with soccer that one year, and the people who loved it loved the fool out of it, but a lot of people just sat back and watched.
That was terrible.
That was long
terrible
night.
Luckily, Robert Cash was watching that evening,
and somebody else,
and there were like 8 people who ended up watching. No, it was.
But they loved it.
It was Bob Ellis. Bob Ellis.
They were big in it.
That show did not do great. Soccer. That show did not do great. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it was a great show. That show did not do great at all. Max says now he's attacking our intelligence. Just yours, buddy. All right. So we didn't have anybody new into it. Bob Ellis loved it. Yeah, he was participating.
We've been running an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 14 minutes. But we're going to do half the battles that we just did, right? If you got to go to bed,
No, I'm just helping you keep track of time.
I got a big old timer right there on the stream. It's that big red box in the top left of your screen. You can see the timer.
Oh, I see it.
All right. So I'll let you pick the battle. So we've got Pappy versus Norteño, Herrera versus T52, Undercrown Maduro versus Farrell, and the Liga Privada number 9 versus the H99.
Let's do the Undercrown Pharaoh.
Ooh, the Undercrown Farrell battle. Go ahead and just kind of cool. Just put it right there on the screen. Everybody can see it. Chris Whitmore says, "This is fun, guys. Thanks. I appreciate that. I think it's a lot of fun. It's actually a lot more fun than I envisioned it being.
Right? Good, because we got 4 more of them.
But maybe
we have 4 more.
Maybe we can get somebody on, coming up soon to,
Look, Law said he would have come on.
Representing the companies.
Law could represent anything.
All right. So before I jump in, what are you voting for, Farrell or Undercrown Maduro?
Farrell.
I went Farrell as well.
It's with a tight margin, though.
Yeah. So Kelly is Farrell. Voted for Farrell. Sorry. Mag. Sorry, Kelly. Macbird voted for Maduro. Rick is also Farrell. Gary Brooks, Farrell for sure. Adam Wolf, the Farrellest of them all, goes Undercrown. Charles Adamson goes Farrell. Rebecca Bergson goes Maduro. Republic of Debauchery, the Farrellest of the Farrell. Bob Ellis with the Maduro. Stephen Essie, Farrell. Gary Zanstra, Undercrown. Wacky Packy, Farrell. This is fun, despite the blatant cheating. No way. Supremo Tobacco with the F-E-R-A-L.
You jumped over Law's comment. Law, if
I'm not
I had control over it, I would invite you
I'm
on
not
and have you be the
over
third
Law.
person in this Brady Bunch
I'm
kind of
not
thing going
jumping
on.
over
He's
Law.
not reaching out to you, Law.
I'm
I don't
not
know
jumping
why.
over Law.
I don't understand why.
I'm not jumping over Law.
But I would have you on in
Christy,
a heartbeat.
Christy with the Farrell. Jay Bates with the Farrell. MKK with the Pig. Michael Zakovic with the Maduro. Sim says he's Farrell. Get that checked out. Cigar Connoisseur with the PIG. That's 15-6. I think we can call it.
We can call it. We
So,
could call Law because he is available. I'm just saying.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just saying.
My goodness.
It would not be hard to send him a link.
You just don't like letting things go at all. And I can't stand it. It's the worst. It's probably the worst part of having to do streams with you is when you just don't stop. And here comes Mac. He's already typing up something stupid in the chat. He's making fun of our American veterans. Chief hates America. Chief hates America. Blah, 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 blah. I know it's coming.
Law, I think you would add so much to the stream. It'd be like the Ghostbusters where they crossed the stream and they vanquished the evil foe.
You're crossing streams over there? What? All right, so moving on to that's quarterfinals. No, this is semifinals.
No, quarterfinals.
No, yeah, it's quarterfinals. And yeah, we're getting ready for the semifinal.
Right.
Wacky Packy with the hashtag Chief Solo Streamer. No, couldn't do that. Used to be Chief Solo Streamer. Mac Bergson says, actually, I had just accidentally typed in a letter and then was responding to a WhatsApp. So no, I fully expected there to be some. So let's see. Did anybody vote that go round that I have not added yet? No. I don't see anybody new. I'll also let you know that I invited Law, and if he wants to come on, he'll come on. But if he doesn't come on, I send him the invite. So
did you really send him the invite?
Sure did. Send his messenger. Okay, so next, let's choose. Let's go. We're gonna do this fight right here.
I'm worried about this one.
Go right here. This is the Pappy Van Winkle versus the Norteño. Law Ream says, "Don't let this man lie to you." Go check your messenger. I just sent you a message. Sent 2 minutes ago, by the way. So let me erase these. I know you guys are already voting, which is fantastic. It's going to make my job tallying up votes a little easier. But Bob Cigar Guy, what are you going to vote for?
Pappy.
So you're going Pappy. I'm going to go Norteño.
Are you really?
I am. So Pappy's the 1, Norteño's the 2. So Mac Norteño, Kelly Norteño, Rebecca Norteño, Adam Wolf Norteño.
Wow.
Republica Debauchery Norteño.
Steve Anesi voted Norteño.
Bob Ellis with the Pappy. Suprema Tobacco Norteño. Christy Pappy. Rick Carroll Pappy. Michael Zakovic Pappy. Charles Adamson Norteño. Stephen Nessie Norteño. Wacky went Norteño Senior. MKK Norteño. Brian is voting for Fotos de Puros, who's on vacation this week, so he's got to pass. So we'll let the ghost vote count. Gary Brooks, love my bottles of Pappy, but Norteño takes the cigar.
God.
Jay Bates with the Norteño, and connoisseur Eric with the Norteño. That's 15-5.
I am so shocked.
Blow out.
I am so shocked.
I thought we were going to have. I thought all of these brackets were going to be fights.
I'm shocked.
I thought for sure every single one of these was going to be close.
I'm shocked.
Undercrown and Pharaoh was really moderately close, but I thought all of these were going to be. That's one of the best blowouts of the night. I think that barely beats out the 9 versus the La Vieja Habana. Rebecca Bergson says, "I finally picked a winner. Congratulations." Every cigar you pick, you can't go wrong with any.
Well,
of these
you married
cigars.
Max, so you're a winner no matter what.
You're a winner, and he's the wiener. So yeah, that was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
With as strong as Norteño, as strong as Norteño did there, I wonder if Norteño doesn't make it
to the final,
to the next round,
to the final.
Yeah,
I can see that.
All right, so next quarterfinal, we'll go. Oh yeah.
That's the Clash of Titans right there.
Yeah, this is like dad versus son right here. The Liga Privada number 9 versus the H99, the hybrid Connecticut. I'm actually gonna go Liga 9. What is that? I don't.
H99.
All right, so Liga 9 is number 1. H99 is number 2. All right, so let me see. We'll put Rick Carroll's comment first. H99 is 2. Christy Whitmore put Liga, so I'm just gonna assume that's 9. Stephen Essie, Liga 9. Adam Wolf, Liga 9. Saka DTT, Liga Privada number 9. Mac Bergson went number 9.
I like that.
Screams Back says, "Why have 9 when you can have 2 of them?" So that's the H99 for Brian. Liga Privada for Bob Ellis. Wow. Charles Adamson coming in with the 9. Michael Zakovic and Rebecca Lee Bergson also coming in with the 9. Gary Zanstra, I'm going to assume that's the number 9. MKK, number 9. Wacky, numero 9. Jay Bates, 9. Connoisseur, 9. Throw in the towel. Yeah. You're going to kill him.
Yeah, that H99.
15-3.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that.
Wow.
I can't believe that. That's a shocker to me. That's a shocker to me because the H99 has had so many banging Vitolas lately, hit after hit after hit after hit. Plus, they gave the pigs at the Barn Smokers, and now they're released, and the number 9 has been around forever. And I just that's testament to the Liga number 9 that blend was made so well that it will fight good contenders that are new, and it doesn't have to be new and fresh. It is as good as it was when it was good. It's just that says something.
Okay, so I need to look at this.
Wow.
I wish I would have I wish I would have I would have had a way to save this down. Maybe I'll remember this for going forward. I think,
Mac, that's fair.
I think the number 9 beat the H99 worse than the 9 beat the La Vieja Habana.
I don't disagree. I mean, people were passionate about that. Those answers came up like that too. I mean, there was no question, I think, in their mind when they made that
So
decision.
MKK says H99 needs age. Already voted number 9. Chrissy Wilmer says, "Oh, sorry, BTCG. Makes sense. 9s are much easier to obtain. Testament to Master Blender Saka."
And you chose the number 9, right?
I did. And I think one of the reasons why I chose that is because I don't smoke as many 9s as I do H99s. But if I were to go into a humidor and see H99 and a number 9, I'm grabbing that number 9 more than I do.
See, I would smoke 5 H99s over 20 Liga number 9s.
No,
I would.
I couldn't do that either way. If you gave me 5 9s and 20 H99s, I'm taking 20 H99s. If you gave me 29s and 5 H99s, I'm taking 20, because they're both great cigars.
They are both great cigars, but number 9 has never been a super duper cigar to my palate.
Oh.
The 52 either. They've never. I mean, they've been great, but they just never made me want to sing like the H99 does.
I don't think there were any new voters in that round.
But Mac did said makes sense. 9s are much easier to obtain. That's true.
I don't know, because Liga's been kind of backordered for the past couple. I mean,
yeah, but how long has Liga 9 been out?
Yeah.
12,
so over
years?
History, and obvious, yes, most humidors who have Liga number 9 don't always have Liga H99.
And that was,
but every humidor that has Liga H99 has Liga 9.
And that was the signature Liga, wasn't it? So I mean, that was the one that for a while everybody bought for the special events and the special.
Well, and our last quarterfinal, is a possible. We could get to a really boring final, right? We're in the quarterfinals. Yeah. We could get to a really boring semifinal.
But I'd be interested. I don't think I call it boring. I'd like to see which way people would lean. Because I was sitting here thinking, man, we ought to just do a free bracket, a free thing of the T52 versus the 9 and see what comes up. But that may just happen here in just a minute.
Well, and that's one of the things is when you put, what's up, Trillo?
Hey, C2.
When I put in the input, I made sure that number 9 and T52 were 1 and 2 because of how debated 9 versus T52 is.
Fair. Because
the only way they can meet if they're 1 and 2 is in the final. That's the only way they can meet. So our last quarterfinal for this region, the Drew Estate region, our last quarterfinal is the Liga Privada T52 versus the Herrera Esteli Brazilian. And I'm going to go T52.
I'm going Brazilian.
Uh-oh.
There he is. That's the man right there, Laurie. What? I tell you what. Look at that fella right there. He got his light all on point. He got a little pretty hat. Is that one of them Drew Estate hats you got on right there?
Hey, this was given to you by a very good man named Bob.
Hat right there, boy. I tell you what.
Now, Laureen, we've just started the T52 versus the Herrera Esteli Brazilian. Which way are you going?
Uh, uh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Those are two great competitors. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Brazilian.
My man. My
Ooh.
man.
Oh, so Bob the Cigar Guy, does that mean you're going Brazilian as well?
I already said it.
Okay. I know you voted for it earlier. I didn't hear you voted
No, I
for
said
it this
it.
time.
I said it.
I'm going T52 just because I love the T52. I don't like it as much as I like the 9, but that's another one of those. If I see the T52 and H99s, I'm going to grab that T52 because I don't smoke it. I don't have the ability to smoke it as much, and it is such a smooth, really good cigar. Now, Law, you've been doing a lot of cigar research here recently, haven't you?
Yes, sir. It's probably more than my doctor would appreciate.
Now, I would like, as I'm going to contabulate and tally up these votes over here, I would like you to talk a little bit about why you've been doing so much cigar research, if you want to.
I mean, it's a little premature, but me and my business partner decided instead of taking advertisement monetization that we were just going to try and sell our own cigars. So instead of selling our audience to, you know, a couple companies, we're just going to sell it to ourselves, pretty much.
Now, you're building cigar packs right now, right?
Yes, curated cigar packs.
All right. So, what's the idea behind these curated cigar packs?
So in my experience, most cigar samplers are just like cigars that won't sell, and they bundle them together and they give you to you for half off, and it's just like there you go. And then you have the monthly cigar clubs where you don't really get a choice to what you're getting. So we thought we would put together curated packs for you to choose from. And they're all gonna be themed. Like we have a broadleaf pack where they all taste like have heavy buttery notes, like we call it buckets of butter. Um, or a silky smooth pack, which is like the creamiest, smoothest smoke you can get out of a cigar. So we're doing 4 and 5 packs of those and see how it gets received by the people.
Yeah, I really enjoy the way, because I get an inside look, right? Because I'm in the Dead Leaf Breakfast Club. You're in the Dead Leaf Breakfast Club. Shout out Dead Leaf Breakfast Club. So I get the inside track, the inside scoop. Also, I get a little bit of input because you're like, hey guys, what do you guys think about some creamy cigars or some Connecticut cigars or Maduros or sweet Maduros? And so it's kind of fun that we have a little bit of an input from the DLBC side. Now, has there in your recent trials and testings of tribulations of picking cigars, how many of those cigars have been brand new to you?
I would say like 90% of them.
You said 90%?
Yes.
Wow. Have you found anything in that 90% yet that has just blown you away? Like, holy crap, this is a freaking good cigar. I can't believe I haven't smoked this yet.
Absolutely. I can't even remember the name of it right now. It was such a unknown cigar to me. But when we were doing our creamy pack, I believe it was, we were smoking this one cigar. I'd never even heard of the brand name before. It just blew our minds. It had way more flavor than anything else. It had the smoothest smoke. It was just a fantastic cigar. What was that called? I don't want to have to like leave the group to find it, but
No, don't worry about it. No, I really like what you're doing when it comes to you're curating. You're not just curating cigar packs that you can try to save somebody some budget or some coin in an area. You're creating a cigar pack that lends itself to a certain type of palate, whether that's your favorite palate or if somebody is trying to test that water for their palate. Because I've got a couple people who have come up to me in the past year who have said, hey, well, can you tell me what some creamy cigars are? And now I'm going to be able to say, hey, I've got a website you can go to now. Obviously, we're premature, but even with the YouTube rules, I can't say the website.
yeah, right. We don't even have it up yet, but we can't say it.
Eventually, there will be a Chevetta report that points people to it, I'm sure. But I'll be able to tell people, okay, you're looking for creamy. Hey, go to this place, order the creamy pack, and you're going to be able to test your palate, your waters there. So I think that's really cool that you do it. I'm also excited that you're launching this thing. But I do have some tally results in 15-7. The T52 over the Herrera
Wow.
Esteli Brazilian. I know you both voted for the Brazilian, but that honestly doesn't surprise me. Like I said, I think we're gonna get to. I think the number 9 is gonna win here, and I think the T52 is gonna win here, and we're gonna have that classic age-old debate: 9 over T52.
Now, I have a technical question for Law, if I may. I've already filled out my application for citizenship of the Republic of Cigars. Where exactly do I mail that to? I'm bypassing your passport. I'm just going straight to
He wants to move to the Republic.
That would be, I guess, 1 Flavortown, Banana Republic Way.
So if I become a citizen, then can I be in one of the cabinet positions like honorary cigar reviewer or something like that to add color commentary to the whole Republic, so as to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna want to put like comment sections below each pack and like a forum so people can build their own packs and stuff. And it's really gonna try and be a thing for the public. So we want everybody involved.
Because we here at the channel are going to hype up whatever you're doing, because we surround ourselves with great people doing great things, and you, sir, are the definition of all of that. And Supremo Tobacco said, "Why is Law so handsome?" I'd like an answer to that question as well. Can you answer that in-depth question for Supremo Tobacco, please? Why are you so handsome, sir?
So when a man loves a woman.
There's a song that starts off that way.
Back to the bracket, Chief.
Now,
back to the bracket.
One of the things was bringing Law on with this bracket. No, other than the fact that Law is a friend of the channel, Law and you are somebody who I feel like you tell me every week, oh yeah, I was on the phone with Law.
Well, we don't talk like you and Jay Bates do, because we're secure in our relationship. But
I was bothering Law again this week, and again I will
true.
say it again. I'm so glad that you're my dad's friend, and I don't have to answer some of the questions that he asked you. Because I was like, man, I don't know. But also, Law is very well versed in Drew Estate cigars. Would you agree with that statement, that sentiment, Law?
Absolutely. I run into the reps all the time down here in Miami, so they're always handing me cigars, and I'm trying all the new stuff that most people can't even get their hands on. So I've been very fortunate.
With this bracket, are you happy with this bracket? Let me pop it out all the way. Is there anything on this bracket that you're like, man, I wish that would have been turned over on its head? Or are you like, you know what, that's pretty respectable. It kind of feels as expected. Maybe I didn't get the cigar that I wanted to win.
I got to get something to drink from. It's getting dry in here.
I can't even get away from my own father. Sorry, Law. Go ahead.
That's okay. I figured the acids would get crushed because any premium cigar smokers is not going to be into acids, even though they're like the second most sold cigar in the world, behind Deadwood, which is another like flavored cigar. But those people really aren't public about it. It's like Nickelback. Like everyone hates Nickelback publicly, but personally in their private time, they all listen to it.
They'll sing it when the radio comes on.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that goes really well with like people who talk about Creed, who talk trash about Creed. It's like, oh, it's divorced dad rock. Nobody likes Creed, and it's like, all right, Creed comes on the radio station, and everybody is, I'm 6 feet from the edge, and like everybody's singing that with their whole chest. Which Creed is coming to a concert here in Greenville in August, and I'm going. So I've got to buckle down on my divorced dad rock station. But we'll jump back in, since you're a residential expert. Where would you like to go? Would you like to go the number 9 versus the Feral, or would you like to go the T52 versus the Norteño?
I think the Norteño versus the T52 is going to be more interesting.
Okay, so save that for last.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll do the Liga Privada number 9 versus the Feral. Laureen, where would you place your vote in that debate?
I'm gonna go with the number 9. Not like they both have great flavor, but I've had a few ferals like go awry on me, like just bad burns. So number 9 on quality wise.
Okay, Bob the Cigar Guy. What about
9.
yourself?
I'd go with 9.
You're going the number 9 as well.
Yeah.
I also am going to go the number 9. There's a part of me that wanted to go the Feral just to give the Feral a shot. But here's the thing about Chief Talk and it being user poll generated. They can vote for it as well, right? So we've got Mac Bergson with the number 9. So that's 4 for 9. Rick Carroll with Feral. Kelly Gower with Feral. So there's 2 there. Adam Wolf, Rebecca Charles over here with the number 9. Stephen Essie with the Feral. The connoisseur over here with the Liga Privada number 9, Bob Ellis with the Feral. Gary Zanstra with the 9, Gary Brooks with Nueve. Luckily, I know a little bit of Spanish and Taco Bell menu. And so Brian, the Supremo Tobacco himself, is going for the Feral. Jay Bates with the number 9. We've got 22 current people watching, and we are at 12-5. So
seals the deal.
Does it? Yes, it does seal the deal because 12 is over 50%. So the Liga Privada number 9 takes the cake. And then we'll come down here. We'll jump straight in to the Liga Privada T52 versus the Norteño. Law, you said that you thought this one might be a little bit better, a little more competitive, a little more close. I agree with it. I think originally I probably wouldn't have thought that, but seeing just how contentious the Norteño versus the Undercrown and the Norteño versus the Pappy Van Winkle was, this could end up being a really good fight. Where would you put your horse? The T52 or the Norteño?
If it was the original T52, I'd be going for that. But I just don't think it has as much impact as it used to. So I'm going to go Norteño.
Bob Cigar Guy, you're going with Norteño over there, I think?
Norteñoing it out.
All right. So I'm going to come up here. Stephen Essie has already started it out on the T52. So, let me put my dog in the fight as well. I love the T52, but I'm also going to go Norteño just because when I see Norteño in the humidor, right, whether it be here or in a lounge, I always find myself going over there. And I don't know if it's because of budget. I don't know if it's because it's just so good. I don't know if it's because of the Herrera Stili line and I want to have me some Willie Wednesdays. So I'm also going to put a tick over there in the Norteño box. And as I tally these up, Law, in your tasting kits that you're putting together now, are there, and I know that you haven't finalized them, and I'm not asking you to finalize them or even say which ones are which, because I know you don't have all that information in front of you right now. But off the top of your head, do you know of any Drew Estate cigars that have made it into any of your tasting kits yet?
So because some of these companies make the cigars harder to get, we really wanted to lean into our relationships with the companies we do have good relationships with.
Yeah.
And none of them have made it into our packs yet. Not Drew Estate, not Perdomo, not Aganorsa. We haven't added them to any of our packs.
Wow.
And
so this is really going to be a sampler that's based on flavor that you might find some that you've seen before, but there's going to be something in the pack that you may have never had that you can experience and add to your repertoire of smoking deliciousness.
I think it's going to hurt us a little bit because people are not going to look at the packs and see a lot of the main brands that have a lot of name recognition, but we're just really going with what tastes best. And I think eventually people are going to be like, okay, these packs are actually pretty well put together, and I'm learning some new stuff that I like that I would never have given a chance to.
That's cool.
Yeah. I hate that this feels like a commercial or something, but I appreciate it.
Well, what else would you like to talk about? Because we don't have to talk about you if you don't want.
No, let's talk about this competition, man. Let's do your
Well,
show.
okay, so results are in. There were 19 people on, and I have 19 votes.
Nice.
One company has 11 votes, or one brand has 11 votes. Another brand has 8 votes.
That's pretty good.
Do you want to know 8 or 11?
I'd like to know them both.
Well, you'll know both once I tell you 8 and 11.
I'd like to know how many Norteño had.
So
11.
you want to know
How many Norteño had? That's
you want to know how many were
It's pretty simple questions too.
11.
Norteño won.
Norteño
Ah,
beat the T52.
I'll be doggone.
I
That's
am shocked.
a value cigar beating the ultra premium cigar.
Wow.
Underdog. Holy crap.
Wow.
Norteño has had to beat. Let's just walk through it. Norteño had to beat Underground 10.
Not an easy fight.
Norteño had to beat Pappy Van Winkle.
And it beat it well too.
Norteño had to beat T52.
Wow.
I
crazy.
am shocked.
That's crazy.
I am shocked. That's almost Cinderella-esque.
Could Norteño take the whole thing?
That would be nuts.
Could Norteño win the whole bracket system?
Now, Law, Photos de Puros from the Deadly Breakfast Club is a humongous Norteño fan. And he's on vacation with his family at the beach this week, and he's not able to watch, and he is missing the show of ever.
Wow.
Brian,
Right?
Brian, you're watching. You need to go DM him and say you need to get over to Chief Talk now.
Yeah. Leave your family and quit your vacation to go watch Chief Talk.
No, that is surprising to me because I agree with you, Law. When it comes to Drew Estate brands, T52, Liga 9, Feral,
H99.
No, because H99 has only been for a couple years, right? Those are like your tried and true.
Well, Norteño's 10 years old,
and I think you said Law Ultra Premium. Did you? That's what you used, right?
Yeah, it doesn't get much higher than T52.
Yeah, in the Drew Estate line, or really in just cigars in general, especially the cigars that Americans can get, right?
But now let's face it. When Willie started off with Drew Estate, when he was working for his family shop, El Tide de Bronze, they probably had 20 or 30 tobaccos they could choose from, binder, filler, and wrapper. And so he was limited to a selection. And the way Jonathan Drew talked about it is they basically took him in there and said, go play, go do something. And he had all these amazing tobaccos that he could play with. And so he was fresh. I'm not saying he's not fresh and excited now, but it was his first one. And he really probably wanted to bring something to the table to prove to everybody and himself that he deserves to have this position as master blender of one of the largest tobacco companies, cigar companies in the world. And I think he really, really, really put his foot into it when he came up with that blend. And I think this is testament as to that reality. That's just
Norteño is a great cigar, but when I made the list out, I for sure thought it was going to be 9 versus T52.
Right.
Now there were a couple outliers in there from who I thought. So I figured 9 would make it far. I thought H99 would make it far, but obviously H99 and number 9 got paired up against each other, so they kind of knocked each other out. Well, 9 knocked H99 out early but then Feral, right? I mean, and look at H. We talk about Norteño, running the table, right? Norteño beat the Underground 10. They beat the Pappy Van Winkle, beat the T52. Number 9 now had to beat La Vieja Habana. Wasn't going to be much of a competition there. It wasn't. From my opinion versus what was in the data. Then the 9 versus the H99, that's a big battle. That's not a it's not like it had to go
You don't mail
La
that one in.
Vieja versus a Kentucky Fire Cured versus an Acid Plush.
Right.
Right. It went $8.99. Then it beat the Feral. Right. So it didn't have an easy road either.
No one's slack.
So but again, this kind of lends to testament. Like Drew Estate put out some dang good blends too. Right. We put some. You could do almost a full 64 bracket with Drew Estate. You could easily do 32, right?
Easily.
You could do the whole Herrera line. Then you jump into like in here isn't any of the
Deadwood line.
Well, there's no Deadwood. There's no Tobacco. There's no Nica Rustica. There are plenty of brands that didn't make this list just because I wanted to have a nice, skewed. Or a nice assortment of cigars. So without further ado, because we are coming up here on the 2-hour mark of the show, this is almost worked out perfectly. We have the Liga Privada number 9 versus the Norteño. So we'll go ahead and open the voting now. Bob the Cigar Guy, where are you going?
I'm hitting Norteño.
You're sticking with the
staying
dog.
With it. Staying with it.
Sticking with the dog. Laureen.
I gotta go with the number 9 on this one. That one is just as good as when they first released it, and I don't think they've changed it at all. So it's very deep, leathery flavors.
I am also going number 9 because while if I walk into a humidor and see a Norteño in number 9 or a T52, I'm reaching for that Norteño. If I see a Norteño in a number 9, I'm reaching for the number 9. The Norteño is a great cigar. In comparison to the number 9 on budget, it wins. But we're not going, well, who's the cheapest cigar? Or who's the cheapest cigar with the best flavor? I'm going, what's the best cigar here? So I have to go number 9. So I'm going to go ahead and contabulate some votes here. Make sure you guys are voting in the comments. 19 people, so hopefully we'll have 19 tallies. It was nice that we had 19 tallies last time. A full data skew. So Charles Adamson, number 9. Adam Wolf, Norteño. Stephen Essie, number 9. Rick Carroll, Norteño. Gary Zanstra, number 9. Kelly Glover, Norteño. Mac Bergson, number 9. Michael Zakvek, Norteño. Bob Ellis, Norteño. Rebecca Bergson, number 9. Sean Crawley, number 9. Connoisseur, number 9. Gary Brooks, number 9. MKK, number 9. Jay Bates, number 9. That is 12 plus 6 is 18. So we have a winner. And it is the Liga Privada
with
number 9 with 12 to 6. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad for the Norteño. Norteño gave up, especially when I was going back and forth, because there was one point where
it was back and forth.
It was Liga Privada number 9 had 7 and Norteño had 6, and then there were no more Norteños to come.
Well, I think it was star power on that one. The power couple of Law Ream and Chief just swayed everybody to say, you know what, if he's voting for that, I should be voting for what he's voting for, because they are true cigar aficionados. And so I think that possibly could have swayed the vote just a little bit.
I mean,
I think if we were voting on value, then Norteño would have won handily. But since we're voting on just the cigar without anything else, just how much you enjoy that cigar, that's why the 9 won.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think if we had said, okay, put in, take into account budget and flavor, I think the Norteño would have won. And I might now. I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll really depend on how we're feeling after PCA. But maybe after PCA, what I'll do is I'll take all of the runners up from each section,
a loser's bracket.
Yeah, and then let them fight it out to get a play-in position, maybe, or just have a winner of the losers, the winner of the number 2s. I don't know. That'll be something I can. That'll be something that I can think of. All right, look at there. That was so nice putting all those names. Oh, I don't have it where you guys can see it. This is like the most technical stream I think I've done in quite a while.
You did a great job tonight.
So let me go ahead and remove that. Stop screen, present, share screen, window here. All right, so you guys can see that.
All right.
We have all of the names already in. Now, Lawream's name is in here, but just because he's on the show doesn't mean that he doesn't get a name. He participated even before he was on the show. We had Lawream. So if you participated and you don't hear your name read, please speak up. We have Supremo Tobacco, Mac Bergson, Lawream, Shad Bates, Wacky Tobacco, Christy Wacky Pecky, Charles Adamson, Banker John, Jay Bates, Sean Crawley, Kelly Gower, Bob Ellis, Rick Carroll, Sim, Adam Wolf, Michael Zakavec, Connoisseur Cigar, MKK, Rebecca Bergson, Stephen Essie, Gary Brooks. Some of the names were kind of shorthanded in there just because I was writing all the names down at the same time. Let's see. Gary Brooks says, this was fun. Thursdays are hard, but glad I made it. Well, we're going to be doing this. So, Gary Brooks, I know Thursdays are hard for you, but we are going to be doing this 3 more times. We have Drew Estate was tonight. We have Villiger coming up. We have J.C. Newman coming up. And we have Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust coming up. So, I don't know which ones we're going to do next. I'm not going to. Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust will not be next week. Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust will be the week before PCA. Just to keep the, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they'll do second to last week. I don't know. I think Villiger is probably going to be the one that doesn't get as much love just because not as many people smoke Villiger.
Make sure y'all shop at Kohl's. They have happy families. Bouncing baby. You can pick up a child at Kohl's.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't select what part of the screen. So they can see that I'm looking at Nike shoes up there too.
You guys should do Villiger last so people have a chance to go out and try some.
You know what? That's a really great idea. So that's what we'll do. We'll do J.C. Newman next week.
See, Laura's value added.
Then we will do Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust. And then we'll do Villiger. That way people they've got 3 weeks to go get themselves some Villiger cigars, try a couple of them, and then they do have some informed opinions about some of the cigars that are going to take place, in the Villiger run-up.
And if you end up going to a place in ordering some, not that I can tell you how to do that, if there's a place to put in a comment, say, hey, we're purchasing these for the first time because on Chief Talk, they were doing a blah, 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 and who.day. That wouldn't be bad for you to do, to just give a little shout out to the channel.
No, that'd be great for the people at Villiger to see the value you guys are giving back to them.
Heck yeah. And this is another way, we talked about this right at the beginning of the stream. We talked about this last week. This is a way for us kind of giving back to the 4 cigar companies who sponsor Bob the Cigar Guy. These are the 4 companies who sponsor Bob the Cigar Guy, and Drew Estate sponsors Chief Talk. And so, we didn't see Foundation up there. We didn't see Crown Heads up there. We didn't see Girk up there. We didn't see Aganorsa up there. Well, next time you see those guys, you say, hey, go hang out with Bob the Cigar Guy a little bit. We're going to be at PCA in a month. So
less than a month.
We're going to, it's less than a month. Or it's a month today that PCA officially starts. Right.
And I don't know how much the viewers know, but if you guys were to break down the money that comes in and what you reinvest and how much time you put in, you guys would probably be making like 75 cents an hour each on all the time you put in.
You're probably right.
So without further ado, we will come over here and we will run the scroll wheel. So before I hit the scroll wheel, I'll shuffle it a couple times just to make sure that it's completely fair and nobody has a complaint. Everybody complains at some point. If people aren't used to it, I like to complain about the complaints. So anybody can win tonight, but if you win tonight, you can still participate in the next 3 weeks, but you can't win. Tonight,
But the last one after PCA.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So when you win tonight, I'm gonna keep that name. I'm gonna screenshot it on my computer so that I've got it in my files. It doesn't go anywhere. Also, the YouTube live is on replay. And so we will get these sent out once we do the big shebang in April. I think it's the first week of April that we're going to have it's the last week of March. It's the week after PCA. We're going to do the Final Four and maybe the losers bracket. And then everybody who participates in that one, you'll get a shot at a big win. Tonight, you're going to get a cigar from each one of these companies. So a Drew Estate cigar, a Villiger cigar, a Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust cigar, and a JC Newman cigar. But we won't mail it out until after PCA because we're going to just do all that mail run at one time. Does that sound like a plan to you all?
Sounds great. Like Gary said, you guys are always giving back to the people.
Absolutely.
Well,
Gary's awesome.
To whom much is given, much is required. With great responsibility, or great power comes great responsibility. I'm going to shuffle 1, 2, trace, and click to spin. It's spinny, spinny, spinny.
Big money, big money, big money.
Big
no
money.
whammies.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at there.
It is the big guy, Steve Anesti.
All right.
So luckily, we don't have to do too much tracking down there. We know Steve. Congratulations, Steve. Thanks to everybody who did participate this evening. We will.
Which cigars is Steve getting from each? Do you guys know yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. I still have my screen share up. There's the computer I'm looking at.
Shopping for some new kicks.
Sorry, I got a media party I'm supposed to go to in Vegas. I want to make sure I look good. No, I make the joke I'm going to be hood rich when my taxes come back, so I got to make sure that I utilize my hood richness on some kicks. There's no GoFundMe currently for new kicks, but if anybody wants to.
Wow.
But no, Stephen Essie's still here. Thanks, Bob and Chief. Appreciate you guys. No, Law, we have not picked out which 4 cigars it is yet. We just know that it's going to be 1 Drew, 1 Dunbarton, 1 JC Newman, 1 Villiger. I don't know if we'll do all 4 the same. Like, I don't know if each one will get the same Drew, same, blah, 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 blah. It might be 4 different packs with 4 different cigars from the companies. And then the one that's going to be fun is the Grand Poobah at the end, the big Final Four. That's gonna have some swag. Like we're
nice
because we're sponsored by these companies. Not only do they, do we have product for review, we also have product to give away. That's one of the things that we structure into our deals when we do this stuff. Is hey, we'd like to have stuff to we've got the Drew Diplomat sign back here.
Not giving that away.
No, but we've got the little El Relo, the Lego El Relo back here.
Not giving that away.
Drew Estate skateboard. Like
they get really mad if you give away that Drew Diplomat sign.
Oh yeah, that's a big
That'd
thing.
be a bad thing.
Which that would not ever be in consideration.
But I'm not going to say that this will happen. But in a possibility world, while we're at PCA, conversations could go, hey, we were doing that bracket thing, and we're going to be giving away something from your 4 companies, and this is to highlight y'all. And we plan to give away one of your basic cigars, but I think one of the other companies is planning to give away one of their super ultra premium cigars, and I would hate for you to feel like you didn't get to put out your greatest cigar to be in competition with the other companies. And so, if you were to give me something else, then maybe we could add that to it as well. And then I say, how many do you need? And I'll say 12.
Max
says, Steve Saka did buy that that like 8 foot tall Sasquatch from Smoke Inn, and it's still at Smoke Inn. So maybe he'll just give the winner that, so he doesn't have to ship it.
I was gonna say, as long as I don't have to ship it.
I need more local people to win, so we can just hand it off.
Right. Right.
Gary Brooks says, if you get taxed back, you're doing it wrong. That means you make too much money, brother. But no, congratulations, Steve and Essie. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, Law, for coming on and hanging out with us. Appreciate that.
So last second, while you were asking me the cigar that surprised me the most, I went and looked it up. We have like a spreadsheet with like I think 75 cigars on it right now. If you guys want to hear it,
I do.
I do.
I would love to hear.
I'm at the edge of my seat.
So the cigar that surprised us the most, it was for our broadleaf pack, right? Originally, it was going to be like all leathery cigars, but we started noticing a lot of broadleaf cigars had this super buttery taste to them. So we renamed it the Buckets of Butter. And one of the DLBC guys recommended the La Dueña, which is a collaboration between My Father's and Pete Johnson, Tatuaje.
Mm-hmm.
But it's blended by the daughter of Jaime Garcia, the wife of Pete Johnson. She blended it, and that cigar tastes like when you go to the movie theater and you get a bucket of popcorn and you just like cover it like just tons of butter on top. That's what that cigar tasted like. It was so good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like I think Greg might have suggested that one.
Might have been a Greg's Lister. Yeah.
I think Greg's List is big on the My Father and the Pete.
And I love Pete Johnson, man. That guy is a total sweetheart. He will give you the shirt off his back. He's a really good dude. So anything to support him is great. But I think that's more of a My Father cigar because when I texted him about it, he was like, "Oh, great, thumbs up emoji." Like, so I don't think it's one of his.
Awesome. Well,
that's funny.
We're gonna end the show here. Thank you, Law, for hanging out and coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe we'll have you on next week too.
Maybe.
Maybe. Especially if
gotta go get ready for the Great Smoke now.
Oh, well, enjoy that, man.
Oh man, have a blast.
Yeah, that's a good party. I think it's the best cigar event for the consumer out there. It blows away Big Smoke and Whiskey Fest.
Nice.
What about the one up in Colorado, Rocky Mountain?
I haven't been to the Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest. I heard that's a pretty good one too. But what they're doing different this year is for the Great Smoke is they're putting all the cigars in a pack. So when you walk in, you get a box with all your swag and all your cigars right there. So normally you would go around and like collect a cigar from all the manufacturers. You get like 1 minute FaceTime with, the owner of that company, Nick Perdomo or Pete Johnson or Steve Saka. But now, because everything's already handed to you, all the manufacturers are going to be walking around just chilling with the people.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's
all that time waiting in lines.
Yeah, and it's like an hour and a half of doing that line, man. And your hands are full, and you can't drink anything, and you're smoking cigars. Your mouth is going dry. Like it's kind of annoying. So this will be cool because you just get everything right away, put your stuff on a table, and then you can go shoot the shit with your favorite manufacturer.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that is neat.
That's cool.
Well, I hope that you have a great time. I know you're gonna have a great time. I can't wait for the group chat to be popping this weekend with all the stuff that you're gonna be sharing in the photo department. So
it
definitely
it was on fire last year because I got a cigar from El Septivo. I got a cigar from Zaya. He handed it to me from his pocket. It wasn't one of the ones he was giving away, and that cigar was one of the best cigars I've smoked all last year. And the group chat was just like, fuck that guy. Sorry.
The Deadly Preference Club does not like El Septivo.
They do not like that. But that's because of Brian. Brian was the first one for a good reason. He got talked down to.
Right.
Supremo Tobacco, the BB. El Septic, he's commenting.
That's exactly right. Well, with that, we're gonna end out the show. Thanks a lot for coming on. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us this evening.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Next week, JC Newman Cigar Co. So if you haven't smoked any JC Newman, either you've got enough time to order it, you got enough time to go to the lounge, find some. So
I will about guarantee that the JC1 American and the El Baton will be on there. So if you want to smoke a couple cigars that you know are probably going to be on the list, even though this is chief list, I can.
Perla Del Mar will make it.
All right. Which is a budget stick, but it smokes way above its punching weight.
The Quorum, is that Jason? That's not Jason Newman, is it?
No.
Is it Havana Q?
Havana Q. Which is Quorum. Yeah, Quorum is Jason Newman.
And then you've got, the Julius Caesar. You've got
Diamond Crown.
Yeah, you got a bunch.
Diamond Crown Maximus.
So. New World.
Yeah, the New World.
So, well, thank you for hanging out. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us, and we're gone. Bye-bye. Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go. Go. Go.